Welcome to the RAL Room Assisted Living Podcast with your hosts, 𝐻𝐿𝐸_𝐸 and Alex Schloe. This is your go-to show for cutting-edge insights from industry leaders in residential assisted living.
Whether you're ready to launch your own assisted living business or looking to invest in this fast-growing, high-impact sector, we are here to equip you with the tools, strategies, and confidence you need to succeed. Get ready to ride the silver tsunami and change the future of senior care. Now on to today's show.
Welcome back to the RAL Room Podcast, a show where we talk all things residential assisted living, from real estate strategy to operating success stories to investor education. And today we're closing out the year with a full review of what we built together in 2025.
That's right. I'm Dr. Alex Schloe.
And I'm 𝐻𝐿𝐸_𝐸, and we're the co-hosts of this podcast, co-founders of Open Range Capital and the RAL Room Assisted Living Mastermind community. And like many of you, we're investors and students of this game.
Absolutely. Today's episode is about reflection, celebration, and let's be honest, owning some of the bumps along the way too. It's been an incredible year for the RAL Room Mastermind, for the assisted living industry, and for the mission that we're all building together.
Yeah, and it's been a whirlwind for the past year, and just seeing how much people have done inside the RAL Room has been amazing. So we want to kick this off first with the wins that we've seen inside the RAL Room community and from members, people just like you who said, I'm doing this, and they actually did the thing in residential assisted living.
Absolutely, man. These aren't hypotheticals. These are closings, groundbreakings, licenses, renovations, first residents. It's real people making real moves in the assisted living space. Charlie, let's run it down.
All right. So first up, we got Aaron and Andrea Mean. They just closed on their land in Tomball, Texas, where they're building two 16-bed memory care mansions in phase 1 and another 2 in phase 2. We're honored to actually be partners on this deal with them, and we helped them raise over $2.8 million needed to get this project off the ground, combined with SBA lending, and it's a huge step forward for their business and the model.
Absolutely. And if you're listening to this and you're worried about raising money, know this, it can be done. The capital is out there when you have the right plan and the right support. And Charlie, I know we're just as relieved as Aaron on finally getting the close on that land. It's been a long process. Who do we have up next?
Up next, we got Nick Blanchard and Dr. 𝐻𝐿𝐸 𝐸, who bought land in Mississippi, and they're preparing to build a 16-bed memory care home, laying a solid foundation, literally.
That's right. That's right. Pedro Luna, he's currently raising capital for his assisted living project in Oklahoma. That's going to be two 16-bed homes. Pedro, we see you making it happen, man. Keep it up.
Yeah, Pedro was just on the podcast, so go listen to that episode. He's crushing it, and he's going to do fantastic things with his home. Next is Jen Ulrich. She was also on the podcast recently. Really another killer episode. This woman literally moved across the country to open her first assisted living home. And it's actually two homes right next door to each other. And she just had her first couple residents move in. So she's officially open for business. Huge congrats to Jen.
Yeah, that was an awesome episode. Amanda Roberts, she closed on a 32-bed facility in Virginia using SBA loan. She got her provisional license and took in her first resident on October 1st. This is awesome. She is crushing it and executing on every level, and we're excited for her.
Yeah, that's right. And then we also have 𝐼𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻, who bought a property in Southern California back in July and is now mid-renovation. And it's just about RAL ready.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Ben Bennett actually just a couple days ago announced that he is negotiating a deal in Indianapolis. So big things are ahead for Ben. He's going to be under contract probably before this episode comes out.
Congrats to Ben. Next up, we have Suzanne, who closed on a home in Texas and is renovating to add 8 additional bedrooms and convert that home to assisted living. And that's a huge project, and we're really excited to see that take place.
Yeah, Suzanne just came into the RAL Room and took action too. It was just a couple months that she was a member. Next thing you know, she's already under contract and then closing on this home. Good work. And a special shout out to Melanie Weeks. She closed on her first lease to operator residential assisted living home in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm sure there are probably some folks that we have missed, and I apologize. There's just been so many wins within the RAL Room this year.
Yeah, it definitely feels like maybe a third of folks have, within a year of being a member, have gone under contract or closed or opened their first assisted living home, which is wild. Just wild to see all the progress we've seen and all these wins happening in this community. So anyway, you know who you are. If you've made a move this year, we see you. Keep it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we didn't mention you, just let us know and we'll be sure to include it on the next RAL Room Roundup episode because we want to give you your flowers. You deserved it, that's for sure. We got some more milestones that have happened in 2025. The RAL Room Assisted Living Mastermind officially hit over 100 members, which is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely wild. We've been open for less than a year and a half. We now have 100 community members, all working towards striving and getting the same goal of opening as many incredible assisted living homes as possible. That's real people building real businesses together. And the community just keeps getting stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about the first ever in-person RAL Room event, which, funny story, I didn't actually get to attend.
Yeah, you not for lack of trying, though.
That's true. That's true. I flew into Phoenix, excited to host with you and Luke, and immediately got super sick. So I spent that night in the bathroom and watched the weekend from my Airbnb and then flew back to Colorado and just missed all of it. But I heard the relationships that were built, even more incredible relationships were built, and you guys soaked up some really valuable information and great time. And I definitely was really bummed, but I did lose a couple pounds.
Oh, there's some silver lining there. People did keep asking, where's Alex? And it turns out Andrew was also sick and couldn't attend. But Dustin and Ronnie were able to show up, even though they had a family emergency. And they got printouts of Alex and Andrea so that we could have them with us at the Airbnb in spirit, which was hilarious.
That was awesome.
Yeah, we had an absolute blast going to the Assisted Living Conference in Phoenix and then getting to spend additional time together in and out of the conference and in the Airbnb, just gathering, learning from each other, and just having a really good time, just getting to know each other, finally putting just Zoom faces to real faces in person to handshakes and hugs, which is fantastic. So we told a lot of stories by the fire. Ǩļļe was willing to get us some firewood, and we had a really good time. So just you'll be at the next one, right? We'll make sure you're healthy for the next one.
Yeah, Lord willing. Can't be sicker. But I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of which, Charlie, don't we have another live event coming up soon?
That's right. We are tentatively planning our next live event for May, the second week-ish of May, around the 11th through 15th. We're still TBD on the exact location. We're seeing if we're gonna align it with another conference or if we're gonna do our own thing and do some assisted living home tours in homes in various stages, which I think will be super cool, as well as have some speakers and stuff. So lock those dates in. We're going to make that official pretty soon, and really excited for the next event, of which there should be 2 in 2026.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'll be awesome. At least, hopefully I can make at least one of 2 in 2026. We're excited to do more live events because it's just a great time and to really just be in community and build those relationships and just learn and grow together. So really excited for that. And we've talked a lot about some wins. I think it'd be helpful to talk about some challenges, but I did want to mention, we completely forgot to mention a couple projects that we're working on right now that we're really excited about for 2026. So we're really putting a lot of our effort in the RAL Room. So we'll talk about that here in a minute about what's coming in 2026, but we're also working on some cool development projects. One of those being the project with the Amines in Tomball, Texas. And then we're also working on a new development project outside of Springfield, Missouri. That's going to be really cool. It's going to be essentially like a whole senior living neighborhood with independent living townhomes, assisted living homes, and memory care homes with a really cool clubhouse. So we're really excited about that. But I wanted to mention that before I talked about our biggest loss. We learned really quickly that development is a rough hobby. It's a painful and expensive hobby. We got under contract on 10 acres of land in Winchester, Virginia. We were really pumped. Did 2-3 months of due diligence and drawings and renderings and civil engineering and all kinds of stuff, only for at the end to find out that the sewer allotment for that lot may not be able to support the project. Running a residential memory care home is not just a calling, it's a maze of licensure, paperwork, zoning regulations, and day-to-day challenges that can feel overwhelming. That's why so many successful operators partner with Legato Living franchise. Legato Living does more than just help you open a home. They help you open it the right way so you can stay focused on what matters, providing exceptional care to those living with dementia. And once your doors are open, it can get lonely at the top. As a Legato Living franchisee, you are never on your own. Legato Living offers ongoing operational support from staff training and owner conferences to systems, cultures, and quality assurance, because a home is only as good as its operator, and great operators deserve a great partner. If you're ready to open a residential memory care home that truly makes a difference, visit Legato Living and start with confidence today. So we lost about $40,000 on that project, which was not fun. But it's important because, in true honesty, not every deal goes perfectly, and that's just part of investing in the space and in the industry.
Yeah, I think is it our buddy Everett that says development is a terrible hobby?
He's
Yeah,
right.
we thought we had a really good opportunity. The stars seemed to align, but that's the way it goes with development. I don't know what the probability is, but there's always a chance that something's not going to be quite right. That's why you do that due diligence. Better that we lost 40K now than hundreds of thousands later by developing on the wrong plot of land, or we wouldn't have the right capacity for sewer, which is wild. So anyway, what matters most is that you fail your way to success, you learn, you adapt, and you do better next time. We did learn that the order of due diligence matters a lot. And so we'll be taking that to heart on our other development projects. But anyway,
Yes, absolutely.
we're right.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a crappy development, if you will. Anyways, let's look ahead at what's coming in 2026. So, guys, we're rolling out a lot of awesome things in the RAL Room in 2026. And this is not fully comprehensive of all that's to come, but this is what we want to mention right now that we're really focused on in Q1. So, pods. You've probably heard us talk about the power of community accountability pods. We're calling it Pods 2.0. We have much clearer expectations. We have pod leaders in place. There's going to be more accountability. It's not a requirement to join a pod in the mastermind, but I guarantee you, if you're a pod and you show up and you put the effort and the time in, you are going to grow so much faster than you ever could. We're working on streamlining the call calendar and adding more calls. We used to do about 6 calls. Sorry, we used to do about 1 call per week, and then every other week would have 2 calls. Now we're going straight with 2 calls per week. So it's going to be Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern time, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We got a lot of feedback from the community, and that's what they want. And this is a community for you. We're also working on a centralized Google calendar. So calls and events are going to sync directly to your life, so you have no excuse to miss it. And then it's crazy, Charlie, I was looking at the call library the other day, and there's like hundreds of hours of calls that we've had. And these are all experts in the space with tons of different topics, strategies, and stages of business. So we realize it's time to reorganize that and make that a little bit more friendly to navigate. Super grateful for all those calls and all the experts that come in, and grateful that we have the opportunity to continue to learn from them, even if we weren't able to attend live. And speaking of the podcast, obviously we're continuing to do this podcast weekly, which Charlie and I love. And if you're an assisted living investor or operator or owner, we'd love to potentially have you on the podcast and highlight your experience in your journey. And we're also working on launching a private podcast feed, which is going to be for easy on-the-go learning. So if you're interested in that, reach out to us through the RAL Room or send us an email at team@theralroom.com.
Nice. That's a lot of stuff going on. Quick story. We learned a lot from the live event. We had a heart-to-heart with the members that attended. There were about 20 members there, and we just got the best feedback. And so we took that back with us and said, guys, we got some work to do. We need to relaunch a couple of things. And so we're really pouring into the community as best we can to just deliver as much value as possible. So really excited for that. And another big one is that we are developing a dedicated lease to operator course/program within the RAL Room, which will have structured content and courses and tools to master the lease to operator model. That's how we got started, where we leased homes out for residential assisted living, and some of our members do that as well. And so that's planned to be rolled out here in the next quarter or so.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the most requested pieces of content we've got, is more information on lease to operator. How can I find a good operator, a good home, and do that lease to operator role that we were doing? So that's coming soon, and we're excited about that. A couple more things I wanted to mention is we're really grateful for some new teammates that we added to the RAL Room team this year. Paige, you've probably noticed the podcast has gotten even better and better with better guests. And Paige has been really instrumental in coordinating that and helping the podcast to succeed more. She's done a ton of amazing things within the community, really helped us plan basically the whole event, which was incredible. And then we brought on Aaron Amin, and we're really excited to have him on the team as well, really working on community success, member engagement. So super grateful for them. And we're excited that the RAL Room team's growing with some rock stars.
Yeah. And I also want to add something we forgot to mention is our new onboarding process. And Paige is a big part of that, where she's reaching out to every single person who joins. And now we have a kind of a tailored onboarding process for folks to make sure that you get fully onboarded and get access to the resources and the community calls and everything that you need to really launch into your residential assisted living journey. Okay, on that note, what does the market look like heading into 2026?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's 2 articles that Charlie and I have been reading and recommend looking into 2026. And the links to both of these are in the show notes.
Yeah, so we won't belabor the point and summarize the full articles to you, but go ahead and click on those links and check them out. The first one is from Nick Map Vision's 5 key trends to watch in 2026. Nick Map is like a giant database, perhaps the database on assisted living data nationwide. Basically, the article is showing that there's rising occupancy rates due to limited new supply for assisted living. And of course, the tailwinds and demographics make this as strong as ever for investing in assisted living.
Yeah, absolutely. The article that I found and read too was quite similar. It was what to expect from the senior living industry in 2026 from the Senior Living Fund investments. And really, it breaks down demand growth, regulatory trends, and why capital is shifting into this sector. And really, bottom line, both of these articles really sum up that 2026 is going to be a really big year for assisted living. And we're really starting to see some of those tailwinds as that baby boomer generation starts to turn 80 and above as they start to age more and more into these assisted living homes.
Yeah, the silver tsunami's coming. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so 2025 was a year to build momentum together. And
yeah, 2026 is the year we're scaling. With clarity, with structure, with serious community backing. We're really excited for the projects and what the year's going to bring.
That's right. And if you're ready to launch or grow your own residential assisted living business, this is the room to be in. This is the community to do it in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd also say if you're just want to learn more about the community, about assisted living, we'll be hosting a webinar this week on Tuesday, the day that you are listening to this podcast. There is a webinar happening at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Go ahead and join us for that webinar and learn a little bit more about assisted living. So thank you for listening. Thank you for building with us. And thank you for helping redefine what senior care can look like in this country. There's a lot of grandmas and grandpas who need it.
Love that. And if you guys want to learn more, you can head over to theralroom.com. We'll see you all in 2026. Thank you for tuning in to the RAL Room Assisted Living Podcast. We hope you found today's episode insightful. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave us a raving 5-star review. And a quick review helps more listeners find the show and more seniors get the exceptional care they deserve. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And just so you know, we have prepared some free resources for you to help you succeed in residential assisted living in addition to this podcast. Head over to theralroom.com, that is RAL Room.com, to download our free 10-step guide to launch your first or next residential assisted living home, or our 10 reasons to passively invest in residential assisted living ebooks. And if you're ready to take the next step and make real moves in the RAL industry, join us in the RAL Room Mastermind. It is an exclusive community where we deep dive into everything you need to launch and grow your own residential assisted living business. You'll get access to recorded courses, live calls with industry experts, a RAL calculator, resources and tools, like-minded entrepreneurs, funding opportunities, and an expert networking community to help you along your journey. Be sure to join us next time on the RAL Room Podcast as we continue to explore the world of residential assisted living with more great guests. See you then.